besties, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Maya and I like to talk about books here on the internet. You guys, we are here and we are in a new month, and that means new readathons, new TBRs, new realizations that we're halfway through the stinking year. How did that happen? We are ready to talk about some reading plans for this month, because at this point, that's what this video is gonna be. It's reading plans, it's not a reading TBR, because do I not have any thoughts for any books, for anything, but I do have two readathons that I genuinely want to participate in, and they have prompts already assigned to things, and so I just have to play along and we will mood read as it happens, and I kind of like that for me. Anyways, I will stop rambling and yapping along without telling you guys what we are going to be participating in, and we are going to be participating in two readathons: the amazing readathon hosted by Bree from 4 Paws and a Book, and Deja's readathon, the Tarot readathon. Let's get into these readathons, their prompts. The amazing readathon is inspired by The Amazing Race. The way that it is set up, we have 8 stops essentially, and for each stop we have a prompt for a book that we must read, and if you are on the teams, then you have to read them in order. If you are on the spoiler team or the non-competitive team, then you could just read in whatever order you want. You also get some spoilers for the readathon, so I am told. I am actually going to try to participate and be on a team. I am deciding I'm going to be Team Pandorica. Our main prompts, this does not include side quests, because there are side quests and you can get points for that. This is just the main prompts. We have a book with more than one POV, and it doesn't matter how many POVs as long as there is more than one. It doesn't have to be equal. If there is one chapter with a second POV, it counts. We have a book recommended on BookTube. It can be anywhere on BookTube, not just a host, but it needs to be a book you specifically found on YouTube, not TikTok, not Instagram, not Goodreads, etc. We also have a book with a preposition in the title, and she actually links a list of prepositions, which bless, because heaven help me, I don't remember off the top of my head any of them, because it's like one of those things where you have the knowledge in your head, but the second someone actually needs the information, just blank. Then we have a book with a building on the cover, and it specifies a whole building, a part of a building. It doesn't matter as long as you can tell it is a building. So that's nice. We also have a book with mental health representation, which I love that. I love that we got that prompt, and actually it is amazing and astounding how many books actually have mental health representation, but you don't know that based off of the summary. So you could literally almost pick up, I'd say, a good 75 to 80% of all books in the world at this point in time, and you would more than likely get a character with some form of mental health rep in there. Then we have a book with an isolated setting, and she clarifies it doesn't have to be the entire book, but should be a decent amount of it, just to be fair. And for me, that really is like, okay, a fair amount is anything over the 50% mark. So for me, in my head, to make it fair to my fellow competitors, if it's going to be an isolated setting, it's going to be an isolated setting for over 50% of the book. That's just me though. We have a book you don't own, and she clarifies the point of this prompt is to utilize your library. Love that. However, this could also include Libby and Hoopla. It can also include books you borrowed from a friend, Kindle Unlimited, or another subscription service where you don't keep the book. So I actually didn't know that there were book services where you don't keep the book. Ooh, Ooh, there's a turtle. Sorry, I live like on a man-made lake, and a turtle just positioned himself just right there, almost like for the convenience of distracting me. Last but not least, we have a book that involves a holiday. And she does clarify it doesn't have to be the main point of the book, but if there's a scene with Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, literally any holiday, it counts. By the way, I went to her original video just to get a place where I can find all of the prompts in one spot. I got to skipping around in the video because the prompts weren't in the description box and they weren't in the Google Doc form that was linked there. So I knew it had to be somewhere. I knew it had to be on Discord or whatever. So I was about to set all of that up on my computer because I only have that set up on my phone. I skipped to the part where she was like, you know, even the reaping could be considered a holiday. I was like, listen, that set off something in me. That set off a lot of chemicals firing in me, because I kid you not, just yesterday, I was freaking talking about the Hunger Games world and just like going off into just a soliloquy of why I need to talk about that world and why I need to start Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Freaking there's my excuse. And now let's get into the second readathon, which is the tarot readathon. Essentially, there's a lot more to this, and I'll be linking both creators and their readathons in the description box down below. But essentially, what we are supposed to do for this readathon is we are supposed to pull a tarot card, read the prompt list, and find a book to fulfill said prompt, read that. For the card that we chose, bam, we get some points. That's kind of the bare bones of what this readathon actually is. Now, there is a lot more to this, and I have papers, and yes, I did print them out. There's a lot more to this, if you can imagine, but one of the things, I'm looking through all of my papers here, one of the things that is new from last year is that we now have a little mini spread, and I'm gonna enlarge and cut out, but we have a little spread of 3. And with the spread, there are additional prompts for the books that we choose, and if we get all of the books in that order and do all of the prompt things, then we get more points for the spread. So because there are 3, I decided to pull 3 tarot cards. Now, I have just recently bought, and by just recently I mean yesterday, bought a tarot deck, a Wicked tarot deck, and I want to show it off. Look, it's so pretty. When we open it, the packaging is exquisite. We do have a guidebook that was at the very top. We have that. The designs are so exquisite, and I feel like I have to re-show you guys because the footage may be a little blurry. Ooh, look at that. I wonder if I could use this for my daily card pull. it was hard for my hands to do the shuffling thing. Now, if there were less, I would have been able to shuffle better. But I tried to do what the others have been doing that I have been seeing, you know, the people that actually do tarot more. And they have done like the shuffle, side shuffle thing, you know, like this. And then, you know, a card leaps out and these are the cards that you get. So I tried to do that, and I think these were the cards that jumped. I don't know if they jumped or if they just like slid out. Either way, these were the cards that were chosen. Firstly, I got this card, which is the 4 of yellow bricks. Also, by the way, I loved this particular scene in the original Wicked. So this was actually quite amazing that this was the first thing that I got. And of course it had Elphaba as our feature character. So I'm gonna consult this and figure out what 4 of bricks even means. So I have been looking into our wonderful little guidebook here, and it does not tell me if the card represents cups, wands, swords, or pentacles. So I'm just gonna have to do a little Google research. So after a quick Google search, the yellow bricks do indeed represent swords. So I essentially have the 4 of swords. And according to the spread that I have, I also have an alt prompt, which is to choose a book that matches the card's prompt or whose page number ends in this card's number. This card being to read a book you hope will recharge or rejuvenate you, which I love that for me. The next card that I drew was a major arcana card, which was the Fool, and I love that it's Fiyero. Because you could have put, well, I won't even say it. I won't be mean. You could have put Madame Morble in there as the Fool. However, I understand why they did this. Oh, it literally just says it right here. I don't even need to look at it. The Fool prompt is to read a book by a new to you author, and that is perfect for life at the moment. And for the spread here, we have another prompt, which is the card swap. I can choose a book that matches this card's prompt, or plus and minus 1 card on either side of this prompt. Listen, I'm not doing that. I love this card. And then the third and final card that we pulled, I love this. I do. It's the 3 of flowers, and according to the site, if it is flowers, it is cups. So we have the 3 of cups, and that prompt is to read a book featuring friendship. How perfect. How perfect. Okay, I will read a book featuring friendship, and that's literally almost any book in existence, which is great and amazing and wonderful and beautiful. And the spread says that this is going to be double points. Double points for a book that not only matches the card's prompt, but also has exactly 3 words in the title. Okay, I will have to think about that one. However, those are the 2 readathons that we're going to be participating in. Those are the prompts, the card pulls, all of the things. So all of these prompts will be at top of mind as I mood read this month, because I am not making any concrete decisions. Not as of right now. I think it's more fun to go with the flow. It puts less pressure, and it opens the door for easier book choices. And for this type of readathon, actually for both types of readathons, I think that's kind of the vibes. It's not about having a structured TBR. It's about going with the flow of the energies of the cards. It's about going with the flow with the energy of the spaces that we're going to be traveling to, and their prompts and the team's bonus prompts and all of those things. and just allowing yourself to basically just feel it out and have fun. And so as a mood reader, this is gonna be a great, amazing time for me, and that's how I'm going to move forward with the prompts. I think that's just gonna be the most helpful, especially as I have been out of the competitive readathon stuff for a little minute and getting back into it. There's just so much that is involved with it, so much that I want to be a part of, and that has my attention and will draw me every which way. But then, you know, also there's just life stuff going on, and life demands my attention. So to make it less of a project or chore, I'm going to be making it just my fun hobby as it is. Boy, that was a journey, but we made it. We made it to the end of the video. With all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, for taking the time out of your day to do so. I will be linking all of the creators and their channels in the description. Go follow them, go follow the co-hosts. It's gonna be a great, amazing time. And then also while you're down there, if you want to peruse any of my other social medias where I may be, feel free to do so. Those will be linked below. And as always, thank you guys so much for being the absolute best bookish bestie that ever was, is, or ever will be. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.